Today, we are setting off on a crazy journey to dizzying summits. Ahead of you is a list of 20 of the tallest buildings on the planet. And beware, by the end of this episode, your head may be seriously spinning from these inconceivable heights. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and also click the bell. It costs you nothing, and it makes me very happy. Let us begin. Welcome to Seoul, a city of contrasts, tirelessly striving to prove to the whole world its right to the title of metropolis of the future. Here rises the Lotte World Tower, a gigantic arrow of glass and concrete shooting into the sky to a height of 555 meters. This is not merely a building, but a symbol of the ambitions of an entire country. Completed in 2017, the tower became the embodiment of the Korean spirit that knows how to fuse centuries-old traditions with ultra-modern technologies. Architects from a famous bureau invested in its appearance, smooth lines inspired by Korean porcelain and calligraphy. And now this tower seems almost alive, graceful and menacing at the same time. Yet behind the beauty hides functionality. Here are a 5-star hotel, luxurious apartments, offices, and a whole shopping complex. And of course, an obligatory observation deck with a dizzying view of the city that never sleeps, day or night. And naturally, in keeping with the fashion of recent years, the tower is stuffed with the most modern green technologies. Although, let us be honest, the word sustainability long ago became mandatory in any architectural presentation. Now let us transfer to the heart of Manhattan, to the place where peaks of ambition shine even brighter than the glass facades. Central Park Tower is not just a building, it is a challenge to gravity itself. Rising to 472 meters, this skyscraper proudly bears the title of the tallest residential building in the world and the second tallest in the Western Hemisphere. Built in 2020, it became a new symbol of the ever-changing skyline of New York, a city that never tires of growing and astounding. Inside is a true palace for modern magnates, luxurious condominiums with incredible views of Central Park, world-class boutiques, and at its foot a full 7 floors of the Nordstrom department store. Naturally, all this is built according to the latest word in ecological fashion: improved insulation, green certificates, and perhaps a couple of symbolic trees to soothe the conscience. Long ago, cities around the world battled for the title of owner of the tallest tower, like knights in a tournament of vanity. But in this race, the United Arab Emirates left everyone far behind, giving the world the Burj Khalifa, a magnificent titan of glass and steel that seems to pierce the very stratosphere. This colossal structure stretches to 828 meters. Its creation required incredible effort. 12,000 people from the most diverse countries united their talents to turn this dream into reality. The facade of the tower sparkles with more than 26,000 glass panels, each of which was cut by hand. Imagine how long it takes just to clean this monster, a full 3 months for a single cycle. And before we climb even higher in this list, do not forget to subscribe and press the bell. They say that if you do not, an entire army of centipedes will crawl over you at night. Let us cross the ocean to New York, a city that not only builds, but also endures. One World Trade Center is not just a skyscraper. It is a symbol of resilience, rebirth, and memory. It rose on the site of the tragedy of September 11th and was completed in 2013. Its height was not chosen by chance. 541 meters is a reference to the year of adoption of the Declaration of Independence of the United States. Americans love such architectural Easter eggs. The facade of the tower is clad in glass and crowned with a spire that emits a beam of light visible from afar. Inside, offices, government institutions, and an observation deck from which opens a dizzying view of the most recognizable urban landscape in the world. At its foot is the 9/11 Memorial, reflecting pools with the names of the victims engraved. It is a place of silence and reflection in the midst of an eternally noisy metropolis. And of course, One World Trade Center prides itself on green technologies and sustainable solutions because New York strives to be not only the brightest, but also the most ecological city of the future. And now let us transfer to Saudi Arabia, to a structure that literally shines with ambition. The clock towers in Mecca are not just a skyscraper, but a genuine multi-level complex that seems like a separate world in the very heart of the city. At a height of 601 meters, this giant includes everything one can imagine: a 5-story shopping mall, a luxurious hotel, parking for thousands of cars, and even a mosque. The top of the building is crowned by gigantic clocks so enormous that they are visible from 25 kilometers away. This is not merely a decorative element, but the tallest clock tower on the planet. The complex was conceived as part of a large-scale state project, a sort of architectural apology for the lack of natural green landscapes. Instead, glass, steel, and gold intended to prove to the whole world that this region can build no less impressively than anywhere else. Now, let us transfer to Southeast Asia, to the pulsating capital of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Here, the sky is literally slashed by its blade-like tip, the grand skyscraper Merdeka 118, a building that is in itself a manifesto of a nation's ambitions. Its name is a direct reference to the country's Independence Day. Merdeka means freedom, and that is no accident. The tower is meant to symbolize Malaysia's forward movement into the future. Height, more than 600 meters. The project combines traditional Malay motifs with ultra-modern forms, creating a bold and recognizable silhouette on Kuala Lumpur's horizon. Here will be luxurious residences, 5-star hotels, commercial spaces, and of course observation decks from which one can survey the entire capital. Architects and developers didn't fail to claim green solutions. Integration of green zones, advanced energy-saving systems, water collectors. All this is not merely a nod to fashion, but a real tool for promoting Malaysia's image as a progressive and responsible country. Now let us glance at Beijing, a capital that for centuries has loved to emphasize its power and greatness with monumental structures. But the times of the Great Wall are past. In its place has risen a glass and metal giant called China Zun. This building, at a height of 528 meters, towers over the entire city as an undisputed leader and symbol of the new Beijing. Its form is not merely an architect's whim, but a reference to an ancient Chinese wine vessel, underscoring respect for tradition even in the boldest innovations. The tower holds everything: offices, luxury apartments, 5-star hotels, and, as an obligatory attribute of modern pride, an observation deck. There was no avoiding fashionable talk of green technologies. Here are rainwater collection systems and energy-efficient glazing. Urban pride? Absolutely. And at the same time, yet another stroke in the global portrait of mega cities, where architecture increasingly becomes a showcase for investors and tourists. Now to the city that is itself a symbol of China's economic miracle. In the financial heart of Shanghai, the Shanghai Tower rises into the sky, one of the most recognizable and ambitious high-rises on the planet. Its spiral shape is not just a designer's caprice, but an engineering solution to withstand wind loads and reduce energy consumption. Height, an impressive 632 meters. The tower seems to hint, Shanghai is not just a modern city, but one of the world's centers of power. Inside, commercial offices, retail spaces, luxury hotels, and from the observation decks, opens a view of one of the brightest skylines in the world. Of course, Developers loudly proclaim ecological responsibility: wind turbines on the roof, rainwater collection, energy-efficient glass. Yet behind all the green promises lies a simple fact. This is another pearl in Shanghai's necklace of commercial success, intended to attract capital and tourists. Now let us transfer to Shenzhen, a city that within several decades transformed from a fishing village into a technological Mecca. And among all its shining towers, one stands out especially: the Ping An International Finance Center. At a height of 599 meters, it holds the status of the tallest office building in the world and one of the main jewels of China's architectural landscape. Completed in 2017, the building became a true symbol of the city's success and technological progress. The tower's form tapers toward the top, creating a swift and elegant silhouette. The facade is covered with glass panels reflecting the urban landscape and light, turning it into a constantly changing picture. Inside, luxurious offices, a hotel, retail spaces, and, of course, an observation deck with breathtaking views of the Pearl River Delta. And again, we hear of green technologies, advanced insulation systems, energy-saving HVAC installations, sustainable construction, all presented as homage to modern trends, without which no mega project today would be approved. In Guangzhou, one of the key centers of southern China, another architectural giant rises, the CTF Finance Center. The tower was completed in 2016 and reached an impressive 530 meters in height. Its glass facade plays with light, reflecting the city lights and creating a magical visual effect, especially at night. This project is one of those designed to affirm Guangzhou's status as a global economic hub. Inside, everything follows the familiar luxury scheme: offices, a five-star hotel, elite residential apartments, and luxury shopping. And yes, let us not forget the obligatory observation deck, from which one can admire the river landscape and city panorama. Architects could not bypass the topic of sustainability. In advertising, brochures, ecological ventilation systems, energy-saving technologies, and water-saving solutions are proudly listed. For without this, no modern tower can claim icon status. Let us head to Tianjin, another rapidly growing Chinese city where architecture becomes a tool of international PR and internal pride. The CTF Finance Center here is not just a high-rise, but a genuine manifesto of ambition. Completed in 2019, the tower rises to 530 meters, confirming that China simply adores the competition to be the most of the most. The result? A futuristic silhouette, smooth lines, and a glass facade playing with light from dawn to dusk. Inside, everything according to genre canons: a five-star hotel, expensive apartments, premium offices, and, of course, an observation deck, because how could one do without the chance to see the city from a bird's-eye view? Architects emphasize the ecological approach: advanced ventilation systems, water-saving measures, energy-efficient materials. Without these words, one cannot do, for a modern skyscraper is obliged to be green, even if built of glass and concrete for tens of billions of dollars. Now let us transfer to the island of Taiwan, where proudly rises one of Asia's most recognizable buildings, Taipei 101. When it was completed in 2004, this tower became the tallest building in the world. And although its record has long been broken, it still remains an iconic symbol not only of the city, but of an entire era. Height, 508 meters, and the design, a real tribute to local culture. The tower resembles a pagoda with characteristic steps, like a multi-layer porcelain vessel stretched toward the clouds. The name 101 was chosen not by chance. That is the number of floors, symbolizing the striving for perfection and endless growth. Inside hides a huge shopping mall, offices, restaurants, and, of course, an observation deck, from which open, breathtaking views of the mountains and the metropolis. The authors of the project love to emphasize the building's sustainability and eco-friendliness, yet at no moment do they forget luxury and commercial success. For this is not just a tower. It is Taiwan's calling card, meant to amaze and inspire. Now let us return to Shanghai, a city that adores shining with its glass skyscrapers. Among them stands out the Shanghai World Financial Center, recognizable from any angle thanks to its famous bottle opener. Height, 492 meters. That cutout at the top of the building not only visually distinguishes it from the crowd, but also became a genuine visiting card of the city. Inside, office spaces, luxury hotels, shopping galleries, and, predictably, one of the highest observation decks in the world. So if you want not just to gaze at Shanghai, but to do so as pompously and stylishly as possible, this is exactly where you need to go. Let us look at a project that was meant to become a symbol of ambition and progress, yet faced a heap of difficulties. Wuhan Greenland Center was conceived as one of the tallest skyscrapers on the planet, a whole 636 meters. But not everything went according to plan. Strict aviation restrictions forced a redesign, and in the end, the building turned out to be only 476 meters tall. The construction process turned into an epic with postponements and additional costs. In the end, the bill for the project exceeded $4.5 billion. Nevertheless, even with the trimmed height, this skyscraper remains impressive. Inside, offices, elite residences, a hotel, retail spaces, and, of course, observation decks with views of the Yangtze River. Like all such projects, the building is positioned as a stimulus for the city's economic growth and a magnet for investors. Only reality can be far more complicated than beautiful presentations. Now, to Hong Kong, a city where high-rise buildings seem to grow straight out of the water. Among all these giants stands out the International Commerce Center. Height, 484 meters, and the design, elegant austerity and functionality. The project was entrusted once again to Kohn Pedersen Fox, and in their manner, it turned out both stylish and universal. Inside this skyscraper, offices, luxury apartments, five-star hotels, and of course, a huge shopping mall. All of this is connected into a single vertical ecosystem of consumption and business. And where would we be without an observation deck? Here, it offers a truly breathtaking view of the famous Victoria Harbor and the endless forest of other skyscrapers. This is not just a building, it is a bright symbol of Hong Kong's status as one of the largest financial centers in the world, and, naturally, an obligatory point on the itinerary of any tourist who wants to say, "I saw Hong Kong from above." Now let us head north, to the city that for centuries has been Russia's window to Europe. St. Petersburg decided to remind the world of its striving for grandeur by gifting itself the LTA Center. This tower, at a height of 462 meters, became not only the tallest building in Russia, but in all of Europe. Built in 2018, LTA Center is a symbol of the contemporary ambitions of a nation that loves rivalry and large-scale projects. Inside are not only Gazprom's offices, but also multifunctional spaces, exhibition halls, conference halls, and even a planetarium. The complex around the tower is no less grand. Other buildings, landscaped embankments, places for relaxation. What is especially interesting, LTA Center managed to declare its eco-friendliness, promising modern energy-saving systems and sustainable resource use. Well, how else? Without a green certificate, no megaproject counts today. Now let us transfer to Southeast Asia, straight to the heart of Ho Chi Minh City, where landmark 81 rises, the tallest skyscraper not only in Vietnam, but in the entire region. The tower climbs to 461 meters and was completed in 2018. Its glass facade sparkles against the tropical sky, and the silhouette has become the calling card of a city rushing toward the future. It was designed with an eye to maximum international appeal: luxurious apartments, offices, a five-star hotel, a shopping center. All this vertical ecosystem seems to copy the experience of other global megacities. And of course, on the 79th floor, an observation deck. For what could be more desirable to a tourist than the chance to gaze down upon Saigon and the winding river beneath their feet? This is not just a building, but a real marketing tool meant to confirm Ho Chi Minh City's status as a city ready to play by the rules of the global world. Our next stop is China, where the love of high-rises has reached almost religious proportions. The International Trade Finance Center is a grand project that was launched in 2015 and is even now still being completed. Here, they planned not merely a tower, but an entire ensemble of 98 floors and an overall height of about 351 meters. The design of the building symbolizes the confluence of two rivers intersecting in this area, and the silhouette of the tower resembles a sailing ship, recalling the history of trade and travel. Inside, offices, residential apartments, shopping galleries, and entertainment zones. This is yet another example of how skyscrapers become tools for rebooting city centers, turning them into magnets for money, people, and global attention. And finally, the crown number in this dizzying list: the Petronas Towers, true legends and icons of Kuala Lumpur. Finished back in 1998, these twins, at a height of 452 meters, long held the title of the tallest buildings on the planet. But even today, they remain the calling card of Malaysia, a symbol of its economic leap and modernization. The design, the creation of Argentine architect Cesar Pelli, unites Islamic motifs and modern aesthetics. The towers are joined by the famous Sky Bridge on the 41st and 42nd floors, an unmistakable element that everyone who has seen them even once will forever remember. Inside, the headquarters of the national oil company Petronas, offices, retail spaces, and even a concert hall. And of course, an observation deck on the 86th floor so that everyone can see the city from a bird's eye view. The Petronas Towers are not just an office building. They are a statement that Malaysia is ready to stand in the same row with the world's largest metropolises. And so, we have reached the end of this dizzying list. Huge towers, daring silhouettes, the ambitions of entire nations, all of this is architecture that speaks for itself. Write in the comments which of these high-rises impressed you the most. And so, as not to miss other incredible stories and discoveries from around the world, subscribe and hit the bell. See you in the next episode.